series! Hey guys, it's Kristen, and if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been doing weekly Charmed reviews about the new Charmed reboot, and it's been a lot of fun, and it actually inspired me to go back and rewatch the original Charmed series. And I thought, you know what? How fun would it be to start doing reviews of those seasons? So that is what I'm going to do right now. Charmed aired from 1998 to 2006 for 8 seasons, and it introduced us to the Halliwell sisters, Prue, Phoebe, and Piper. The sisters return home when they inherit their grandmother's house after her death. There they find the family's book of shadows, and they learn that they're descendant of witches. Phoebe accidentally activates their powers, and they become the most powerful witches the world has ever known, the Charmed ones. Prue, played by Shannon Doherty, is an appraiser at an auction house, and she develops the ability to move things with her mind. Then you have Piper, played by Holly Marie Combs. Piper is a chef, and she has the ability to freeze things. Alyssa Milano plays Phoebe, and Phoebe is usually jobless, but she has premonitions. And together the sisters use their power of 3 to save innocents and defeat demons and other supernatural beings that are threatening their world.
We're the protectors of the innocent. We're known as the Charmed Ones.
Later on in the show, we're introduced to another Charmed one, their long-lost half-sister Paige, played by Rose McGowan, who continues the power of 3 when Prue dies. She is half witch and half white lighter, so she has a power that is similar to Prue's, but is a little bit different, and it's called orbing. We'll get into all that more later as we get into more seasons, but we're talking about season 1 today. So the first season follows a Demon of the Week format, with the girls battling different monsters and demons every episode, from demons to sorcerers to wendigos to the Woogieman. And we also get a lot of really cool cameos this season, including John Cho, Danielle Harris, Christine Rose, Lee Allen Baker. But you know, Charmed is about the modern witch, and these women are trying to keep their supernatural abilities and lives separate from their regular lives, which proves to be more and more difficult as the show goes on, especially as they inadvertently end up dating demons and white lighters and getting caught up in unsolved FBI and police cases. Things are especially hard for Prue, dealing with her on and off again love interest, Inspector Andy Trudeau, as he gets closer and closer to figuring out their secret. What I really enjoy about the show is the world building and the relationship building. You know, so much happens in just the first season alone that it feels like we've been following the Halliwell sisters for years, but like in a good way. You know, we get to follow the good, the bad, the relationship issues, the sibling rivalries, and we get to see the sisters really grow into their sisterhood and into their magic. I also love that the girls are so independent. I think that's something that is missing right now from the Charmed reboot, because, you know, in this series, the girls figure out by themselves that they're witches. They have to figure out how to do everything. Nobody's there to guide them. In fact, they don't even get a white lighter or even mentions of a white lighter until halfway, really more towards the end of season 1. You know, there's no one there to teach them the ropes, whereas in the reboot, the girls have had a white lighter showing them what to do and guiding them from the beginning. They also just have like a more realistic journey in learning about their powers and advancing them, and they have a really wild 90s wardrobe. Like, the fashion in the show is so fun. Some of it's a little crazy, but I absolutely love it. The storylines are super empowering and feminist. We even see an episode this season where Prue goes up against a dream sorcerer who kills women who don't want to date him. Dude! They're not interested, move on! And you know, honestly, it's been a couple of years since I watched Charmed, so I was pleasantly surprised by how diverse the show really was. You know, you have Dorian Gregory playing Lieutenant Daryl Morris. You have this really interesting and very like culturally aware storyline of Piper trying to help the ghost of a Chinese American man who's played by John Cho. That was a really cool episode. You have Prue battling with the wheelchair-bound dream sorcerer, and you have the Charmed ones coming together to help a young African American witch named Max. You know, there was a lot going on there, and I was pleasantly surprised. There were a couple of storylines that I actually didn't think held up anymore, like the episode where Phoebe and Piper decide to use a spell to get love interests. They end up having like this sexy time with these guys who don't really actually have control over themselves because they're under a spell, and then when the spell is broken, they have no memory of even ever meeting them. I don't know, it just kind of seemed a bit like non-consensual, creepy a little bit. So I wasn't really feeling that storyline. Throughout the season though, we end up seeing multiple threats come up against the Charmed ones, trying to defeat them, take their power, and you know, their lives are just really different now. Every day, things like going to work or going on dates or things like that end up becoming really difficult because there's always something lurking in the dark ready to, attack some kind of person they need to save. There's always something like that going on. With these powers activated, this is their new life now, and there's some good things and some bad things that come along with that. They get to learn more about the history of their family and even meet some of their ancestors. There was even this great moment where Phoebe got to actually see their mom and have a moment with her, which was really exciting because that's something she'd always dreamed of. Their mom died when she was just a baby, so she never had that. On the other side of that, you have Prue trying to keep this secret from Andy, him learning about it, and then eventually his shocking death at the end of this finale. But through all of this, the sisters learn that they are strongest when they're together. And the reboot is different from this show. The pacing's different, the characters, the storyline, but it is a lot of fun. And coming back and deciding to rewatch Charmed, it just made me realize and remember how much I love this show. It's really cool to see this powerful, empowering, strong sisterhood and the ups and downs that they go through. It's funny how relatable the show is, even though they're dealing with so many supernatural situations. I'm having fun with the reboot, and I'm having fun rewatching this original show. Nothing will obviously take the magic away from that. I would love to know who was your favorite original Charmed character, whether it be one of the Charmed ones or one of the demons. I have to say I have always been a big Piper fan. I always related to her character. And like I said, it's just fun going back and rewatching the show. If you like this review and you want me to continue doing reviews of all the seasons of Charmed, make sure to give this video a thumbs up so I know you liked it. And of course, click that subscribe button because I come out with new videos every week. See ya!